Good morning, Louisville.
We're on, brother.
Well, good morning. We are live from the Southern Detailers Conference. You know what? We are having a great time visiting with people, doing training. Rod and I were walking around training this morning. Tapped into you and Nathan Warren on the boat training. If you guys don't know, this is Kirk Evans. He's the COO of the American Detailer Garage. Also runs his own detail shop.
Yes, sir.
And so we are live sitting down, and we wanted to sit down with you because you and Billy Bogus and a couple other leaders in the industry have gotten together and created something pretty exciting.
Yeah, we have. So Mike Rhines and me, Billy Bogus, a couple of other foundation members of the detail industry, we decided it's time to break down some walls, okay? So I'm seeing a lot of clicks forming. I'm seeing things happening, the walls going up, egos are real high, and I'm always about low ego emissions, right?
That's right.
We got to lower the ego down because we're all on the same team. So we started what's called Detailers Roundtable. It's going to be an organization that's going to be the 1% of the 1%. So integrity, honesty, consistency, resilience, those are all core values we're going to stand behind. We're going to help each other out so we can call each other on a whim. It's going to be mentorship. We're going to have training programs. And the coolest part is we're going to be developing an app. So if you're part of the Detailers Roundtable and say, Jody over here has got about 200 or 300 cars to do, got a week to do them in, he can go to that portal, that app, hire the 1% of the industry. We fly out there, have a good time. Everyone gets a paycheck. Everyone learns something. I think it's going to be great. I'm really excited about it.
That's super exciting. I think one of the things that is really differentiating about what you said is creating a network where you guys can go, you know what, I have a really big job.
Yeah.
And I'd love to I need some help. Yeah. I need some experience, right? And let's powwow together and let's kick this baby out.
Yeah. I mean, how many times, I've turned down work that I couldn't do the contract because, let's face it, we don't have 50 man on staff all the time.
Yeah.
And if a big job comes along, we're going to kill ourselves 20 hours a day with our 10-man staff. So This is an opportunity to tap into already verified people, already trained people. They go through our programs. They know our processes. They know our chemicals. We can fly in, and all of a sudden, it's a beautiful thing when a bunch of professionals, 1% professionals get on a job and watch it get knocked out.
Yeah.
The experience with the airplane project IDEO put on.
Oh, yeah.
You see that happening with the detail mafia they go through. That's all teamwork. That's all training. That's the 1% working together. And you just make a lap, man. It's done.
Yeah.
Right?
And we were actually, ironically, we were just talking to a guy, and he was like, yeah, we had this thing come up where a guy had 100-foot boat that we had to do, and we literally didn't have enough people. And I'm thinking, I immediately thought about this, and I'm like, that's the exact opportunity when you're like, hey, man, it's not about ego, like you said. It's about getting the job done, and when you're stepping up. And I think that's part of the thing that draws people. When you've got a group of people, a group of mentors and friends and professionals that if you call them up and say, I need this, they're there. Yeah. We never worry about that. Jody never worries about that. If he calls me up and, he's had situations, I've had situations, and it's like, hey, you don't even think about it. You just help the other person out, and you get the job done, and then you move on.
So part of business where I've been successful is being consistent, showing up, right?
Yeah.
It's a matter of showing up. And the customers learn they can rely on me no matter what I'm doing. They call me, I'm there. So that's the core values we wanted to portray into Detailers Roundtable. If a company calls us, or if you're a member, if you're a NIE, if you're royalty there, we've got different programs. They call us up, they can rely on us. We'll be there. We're going to make it happen. Everyone gets a paycheck.
So let's talk about this because you just kind of hinted, you talked around something.
Yeah.
So we have these detailers of the round table. Mm-hmm. So what is the structure? How do you get involved?
Sure.
What's the qualifications?
Right. So we're gonna vet individuals. The members are called NIEs, and we've been handing out applications here as we see people. I'm sure we missed several. We have royalty, so that's going to be your trainers. That's going to be your vetted people who's been through our program, been through our training, or been in the industry long enough. We already know they're standing. Okay. And we're going to have a founders club. That's going to be your first year entries as that gets voted in. And I'm proud to say these guys right here are family members here. So
we're excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good for it. It's time to break down the walls, guys. And the drama and the fighting and the bickering is going to have to quit because we're on the same team, and it's our job to knock down those walls. So I've been called strongly to do just that. So
awesome. And that's one of the things that I really like about you. It's interesting. Right before we got on live, Rod and I were visiting with the Onyx crew, right? And the thing that really attracts Rod and I to people like you, the team from Onyx, you know, and other leaders, I mean, there's other people, but they just have this positive energy of wanting to build, wanting to elevate, wanting to make sure that we're setting a high bar that we can all live up to, because in the end, that affects the entire industry.
That's right.
Right.
So, and if you're having a weak moment or whatever, you have someone to reach out to that can relate to at a core value. You got a family, a real family, a choice that you can lean on that has similar core values. I mean, we're already 1% of the industry, so we have that in common. We have that denominator, but then we have to separate there, and that brings other people up to that standard. And I think as a whole, you get more respect from the industry that way. These young kids coming up need the training. They see the industry as an exciting industry, a supporting industry, and not a drama where they get beat down.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
And I loved it. Last night, you know, as Billy Bogus did the keynote last night at the award ceremony, and it was a different Billy.
Yeah.
You know, he got up and he talked about choosing love over hate, and choosing to embrace somebody rather than fight them. And I mean, I'm proud to say that I dropped more F-bombs in my speech than Billy did. So
that's a rare thing.
So that's a rare thing to happen, but I love that. I love that transition of seeing somebody do that. And, you know, one of the things last night that we talked about is everybody has their demons. This industry has its demons. And we have to work out of that. And, you know, as opposed to sitting and having a conversation and complaining or talking bad about something, let's get positive about it. Let's bring it all together so that there is a giant network of people you can help out with. And I'm so excited to be involved in that and do whatever we can. You know, we've always been known for that. One of the things that people said about us that we're really proud of is they say, you know, Rod and Jody, you can call them up and say, hey, we're having this event. Do you guys want to be involved? And they just say yes before you even finish the conversation. So we just want to be out there and help the industry. That's the whole reason we started this whole podcast 4 years ago, was just to promote the industry and help people get their story out there. Because if you're starting a business or you're 10 years into a business, it doesn't matter. You're going to pick up a little something from somebody else and take that little nugget and bring it into your business and help you out.
Absolutely. And I can't stress training enough. I went to a lot of trainings just for networking purposes.
Yeah.
And I tell you, after 25 years professionally in the business, I still picked up on nuggets.
Yeah.
I still learn a little bit. We help each other out. I was talking to Nathan Warren earlier. We're just running over that boat. I can call him, and he may see something that I've never seen before, and vice versa. And no matter how long you've been into it, there's going to be a circumstance that we need to ask for some help.
Yeah.
That's where the ego drops. So
Yeah.
ego mission.
That's right,
Yeah,
baby.
I literally picked it up. I was just telling Giancarlo, I was talking to him about the training we just watched you do. And I said, at this point in my life, I go into a training and I try to pick something up, because you can have a tendency to be cocky and think you know everything. I was ASC certified mechanic and working in a restoration shop in 1985. That's how long I've been doing this. And I take that as a disadvantage, not as an advantage, because I learned how to do it wrong, old, whatever. And I watched you today, and I picked up, and I was watching you guys, and I'm like, I'm going to pick something up. We were there maybe 15 minutes, and I watched you talk about taking an applicator, applying the product to it, and then having a leading edge. And I'm like, I've been rewiping off rims my entire life because I didn't do that. And so I picked up that piece of information. Jody and I both picked up a piece of information yesterday from Nathan when we just walked by. He was talking about rubber, the heat versus the gel. And I'm like, every single time you can pick up something. And if you look for it, if it's a purpose, if you have a purpose to looking for that thing and learning something. Chemicals are changing all the time. Products are changing all the time. 10 years from now, the chemicals and products won't be the same. They're going to be better. They're going to be faster. Paints are getting worse. I mentioned this yesterday. 2024 Chevy pickup. They measured it right from the dealership, 2.7 mils. That's all you're working with. So the products are going to get better. The ceramic coatings are helping to protect that. And there's going to be a different generation of products come out every couple of years. And so I'm happy to be on the leading edge of that. I don't want to be stuck in the background, bitching and moaning, complaining about what used to be. Let's just get on the front edge of that, and let's lead this train into success.
Yeah, because let's be honest, so we're going to learn these processes. If I can save you time throughout the day, that equates to hours. Hours equals days. Days equals money, okay?
Yes, sir.
So I know it's a dedication to dedicate that time, leave your shop. But this should be a place, trainings and events like this are places to recharge your batteries.
Yeah.
You're supposed to lift you back up, learn a little bit, be more efficient, let's move forward. So it's not the same thing. It's so hard to break old habits.
Yeah.
Than it is to learn the proper way. And I can't stress that enough. And we're talking about how aggressive you are now, since the substrates are a lot thinner on the cars.
Yeah.
You need to do the least aggressive thing that works. Okay, and that's why it's so important to have test spots when you do things, so you don't negate that substrate. So if you're removing the substrate, it may look perfect, but you're really shorting that lifespan.
Yeah.
So there's a balance there, and that's what you're supposed to do with your customer and decide where that's at.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this comes around to different experiences, right? So for me, starting out as a mechanic, the thing you do in electronics, I did electronic trainings, AC/DC electronics for a while as well. The thing you want to do is you go for the least expensive, the easiest thing first. And what we have a tendency to do is, if I'm really good at paint correction and I love paint correction, you go, well, we just need to correct that paint.
I just want to hammer down on it.
Right. And that is not it.
Yeah.
You got to go for the least invasive, start with the simplest solution to the problem. A lot of times you see somebody that's scuffed up against a pole or a parking thing, and the first thing you want to do, man, break out that sandpaper. We're sanding it down.
Sand it out.
What you do is you break out a little bit of mineral spirits and wipe off the paint transfer, and then take a look at it.
About a body shop in a can.
Yeah. That's it, brother. That is it. That is it.
Well, and I think Nathan said something. It really hit me in this morning's training. He said, "There's always something to detail."
Yeah. You can always
the detail never ends.
It never ends, right? So it's like recognizing what your customer needs, what their budget is, and going to that level of what they want. Right. Sometimes they may need more, right? But their budget or their want may be lower than what you want as a detailer. And you have to be comfortable with that, right? Because in the end, it's one, serving the customer, but it's two, also having smart business.
Well, you just didn't have that time to sky promise, okay? What I see as 90% correction, and customer wants to think it's perfect.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Our eyes are trained differently.
Yeah.
So I say I shoot for about 85, 90% correction when I do cars. Unless you want to go farther, I tell them, okay, is this a show car? Is this a driver? This removes a lot of material. Here's why. Educate the customer, because they don't know. If you just do it and they come back like, what's this? They think you didn't do the job. You missed the scratch.
Yeah.
But if you explain to them that's too deep, you got to remove too much substrate. You educate the customer. You get them online. You get them their budget, whatever. That way, their expectations align with your expectations. And everyone wins. I tell them, I said, hey, that's going to look like 100% to you.
Yeah.
But to me, it's 85, 85% or so.
Yeah.
And they're good with that. They pick up like beautiful. Looks great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, and that's consistency. It's where we come in. We just have that consistent result.
So how do people get involved in Detailers Roundtable?
So it's going to be Mike at detailersaroundtable.com or Kirk at detailersaroundtable.com. You're able to apply. We've got applications. We're going to be sending out invitations. That's going to grow as the foundation grows here. We just launched it here at SDC. A handful of people knew about it. Our main goal right now is to build a foundation, build a core group, and then let it flesh out from there. As it develops, I think it's going to be great for the industry. I think it's going to grow each individual business. It's going to put more money in our pockets. It's our time to get a piece of that pie and do better than, I'm not saying hacks, so we're all hacks, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, you get the upper percent to do the jobs and do it well as a team. So
awesome.
Yeah. And I think the thing about it is it's born of positivity and help, and it's not born of ego, and it is not born of, we're going to go make $1 million off this idea. It is literally to bring people together. And I know people have been excited about it. We've talked to several people that were interested in it. And I think it's going to be something that grows and blooms.
It's called servant leadership. So in order to grow anything, a good leader gives back. Okay.
Yes,
you give first, and the inherent value of that is seeing someone succeed.
Yeah.
Seeing the industry succeed. And that's fulfilling for me. So I've learned that, my success and building my ego lasts about 2 seconds. Putting someone under your wing and let them grow and watching them flourish and win. Yeah. And that's awesome.
That's you just got to make sure it's not Tayton, because that guy will eat $180 steak and call it good.
Love him.
That's a little inside joke. So
he's a perfect
he's great. Yeah.
He's doing the right thing. So direct message me, get in contact with me. Got any questions, let me know. Any questions about American Detailer Garage products, new things coming up, new events, trainings. It's going to be happening this next year a lot. I'm glad we got launched, and what a great opportunity.
It's fun.
Yep.
So, well, thank you for taking some time. We know you got getting ready to do the show, and appreciate everything you're doing. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you're heading to Southern Detailers Conference, drop by the RoadFS booth. We'll be glad to show you the software. Plus, we just like to talk to you. So,
Yeah, we just like to talk. We're loudmouth, so you know us.
that's right, man. So, anyway, you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later today. See ya.